Hello everyone and welcome back to Pride of Anglia here with Norwich City at the start of Season 8. It's our second season in the Premier League, and having completely undermined Norwich's tradition of being relegated, we enjoyed a decent debut season. Relegation was never in the frame, but our early form declined massively as the year went on, so we need extensive work in the summer if we want to survive once more, and certainly if we want to push on. Let's get to work. Josh Knight is the first to leave, joining Preston permanently for £99,000 ahead of his contract expiring. Daniel Barden likewise goes for better than free to Charlton before his deal expires, and the same applies to Josh Tyman, who joins our old side Northampton Town for £3,000. Northampton have, by the way, survived in the Championship comfortably once more, now under Chris Coleman. Harvey White joins Derby for £20,000 as well. I probably could have renewed his deal, but he never made much of an impact. Now, as always, I like to get my business done early so the players have more time to gel. Our first major signing is our new goalkeeper, Anders Hansen from FC Copenhagen for £9.75 million. Now, he is only 20 and hasn't played much football, but he was Copenhagen's first choice by the end of the season and is part of the Danish Euros squad. Handling, reflexes, one-on-ones are all super solid, and really first touch and composure are the only things of any concern. I think he could be immense, maybe even the next Peter Schmeichel, and if not, it's not a horrendous price. Jayden Bogle joins from Preston for £7.75 million, still only 27. From an attributes perspective, you'd probably only want marking to be a touch higher. Jordan Williams did well last year but clearly can be upgraded, and Bogle is certainly that. And speaking of improving at fullback, on the other side we pick up Noah Katterback from Cologne for £6.25 million. Like Bogle, he's 27 and he's exactly what I want in a fullback, able to defend and attack, well rounded across the board, and a clear upgrade on Leif Davis. To back him up, I signed Leandro Diaz from Vitória de Guimarães for just £825,000. For that price, he's a bargain. Not amazing, but solid. I see no point in keeping Davis even as a backup given how out of his depth he was all season, so Diaz is in. With Bogle joining, although I'd rather keep him as a backup, I decided to loan out James Black to Millwall. Basically, he is unhappy because I rejected a loan move for him to Ulsan Hyundai in Korea in March for some reason. Classic FM logic there. And as he only has 1 year left on his contract, I hope by loaning him out he'll get over it and we can tie him down to a new deal because he's our best academy product. Hopefully he just doesn't break his ankle this time. In my quest to sign a new left winger, I agree a deal for Dario Serra, but he opts to join newly promoted Newcastle instead. But I don't really care because instead we signed Joep de Koning from Willemsvee for £12.5 million. Yeah, he's pretty good. I would like his finishing and composure to be a little better, but they're not bad. At 22 he's had a decent few seasons and hopefully can really kick on here. As a result, Takumi Minamino joins Trabzonspor for £1.5 million. He was pretty rubbish. Also leaving us is Ignatius Gunago, who will be joining Sporting Gijon for £3.25 million on July the 1st. His goals to game ratio is pretty good, but he wanted to leave and it's a bit of a profit. To replace him as an alternative striking option, I have decided to sign Alexander Mitrovic on a free from Sunderland. He's still pretty decent, very experienced, and it's a low wage on a 1 year deal. If he fails, it won't really be an issue. As we reach contract expiration day, James Trafford is the only other notable departure from the first team. Oh, and my ploy worked as we thankfully signed James Black down to a lengthy new deal. I want another winger as Ben Woodburn isn't good enough, so we signed Ebert William from Atletico Mineiro for a bargain £3.3 million. Composure and decisions are an issue, but he's lightning fast with some decent technicals. He can play on the right as he has a decent left foot, but I'll train him to play on the left too. This will allow Vignato to play on the left as well. And then our last major signing, unless there's departures, is one which could be pretty special. Blend Issini joins from Lazio for £11 million. He's 18, he's a cost of an international, and he's already this good. As an eventual successor to Harrison Reed and as a good squad player now, I think he looks amazing, especially for that price. Add in the fact he'll become club trained. Yeah, some pretty decent business I think. Nobody too expensive in terms of fee or wages, and lots of potential to grow into as well. We have 10 million left and plenty of wages, so could still do some more, and obviously if players depart we will, but I'm happy with this for now. Oh, and England won the Euros. Yay. We then get offered the Denmark and Switzerland jobs. Obviously we're not our club jobs outside East Anglia, but I didn't really legislate for international ones. I think we'll have to turn them down, but if we are ever offered the England job, I will be prepared to take it. As we reach the first game of the season, the board have upped the expectations to now formally avoiding relegation, which obviously is the plan. Not that the media think it's likely, as we're predicted to finish 19th again. Thanks guys, but we travel to Molineux hopeful of a good start. Our team is much changed. Hansen starts in goal with Katterbach and Bogle either side of Papetti, and Ben Jalul, who I'm chucking in from the start. Reed, Pelagio and Sibley is the midfield for now, with Brooks on the right now on support, and De Koning attacking on the left. McCrory is up top. I'm hoping for even bigger things from him this year. We've reset. Let's start this season not as we ended the last one. We dominate right from kickoff and McCrory hits the post from this early chance. A goal looks likely and a corner comes to new man De Koning to unleash a wonder strike. Not a bad first goal at all. Sibley finds himself clean through and is unlucky to see his thunderbolt smack the woodwork, but we completely control the game, and in the second half we get a penalty which Pelagio Penenka's in, and then we seal it as Papetti heads home from a corner. 3-0 against a team we lost to home and away last year. Not a bad start at all, and we've sold just under 600 extra season tickets, which is nice. As great as that win was, we now have Manchester City and we lose 3-0 in a performance which really flatters City, to be honest. The rotated side then dispatches Rotherham in the Carabao Cup second round with an early goal from Adam Eder before we face Burnley. And we make a great start as they score 4 minutes in due to some awful defending from a set piece. We are swiftly back on level terms though through a fine finish from McCrory, though we never really looked like adding to it, and then as a draw looks inevitable, some appalling defending allows Keener in to give them the lead. And the win. Fantastic. 2 home games out of 3 and we've lost them both. How have we put in a performance that awful so soon after annihilating Wolves? Hopefully it's just teething problems. Deadline day sees Leif Davis depart on loan to Watford, and laughably, Newcastle bidding for Andrea Papetti. It's a pathetic sum and he isn't interested anyway. But that's it. Pretty satisfied overall. Interestingly, we still have the second lowest wage bill in the division. It would certainly be good to get back to winning ways against Brentford, but no, we just give them their first win of this season despite battling back from 2-0 down. Oh yay, now we have Arsenal, and we're also pretty terrible, but we do get a bit of luck as Brooks rescues us a point. It's an improvement, which then goes straight in the bin as we lose at home to Stoke in the Carabao Cup. Definitely time for a team meeting, and thankfully they all agree they've been absolute rubbish. It's early days, but we need to quickly treat this before we get diagnosed with full-blown second season syndrome. Bournemouth are next and they're third. De Koning has a great chance in the first half which can only hit the woodwork, and then basically nothing else happens. I mean, it's another point I suppose, but we are only 1 above the relegation zone here. I was expecting a push for Europe, not this. Were the signings actually bad? Is it a tactic? We face Villa next and we have a few early chances, and then Pelagio gives away the most pointless penalty of all time, which is obviously scored. Fantastic. We then proceed to have multiple great chances where the players seemingly aim straight at the Villa keeper, and as I prepare to send my laptop out the window, De Koning crosses for Vignato to thankfully finally equalise. I'm content enough with the point given the circumstances, but in injury time we come forwards and Vignato slides to a late rushing Sean Longstaff to fire home a late stealer. We win for just the second time in the league this season and shoot up to 11th as a result. Finally, some luck. As James Black gets injured while on loan again, we look to make it 2 wins in 2 against bottom of the league newly promoted Reading, and we grab a 3-0 win. A great performance, Papetti gets 2 and William bags his first for the club. Has our luck truly turned? We welcome West Ham to Carrow Road, also newly promoted. It's a slow start again as McCrory goes wide and hits the post. Hansen makes a few saves in the second half before finally we come to life. Exceptional play from Vignato sets away McCrory to calmly bag his second of the season, and then in even more exceptional fashion the pair combine once more, with McCrory powering home to make it 2-0. In injury time West Ham score an undeserved fluke and nearly equalise, but thankfully they don't and we win again. 3 in a row. Much more like it. We shoot up to 7th and into that European spot I was hoping to contend for. We end the month with Chelsea and we end the month with this. I guess the players really did need more gelling time. I mean, a lot of them are very young, but still, we blow them away. A first goal for Assini and another for De Koning and William. We move up to 6th. Finally, we get some awards action as Blendicini wins the Young Player of the Month after coming into the side in place of Pelagio, and we make the podium for Manager of the Month. It's been 3 years since we've actually won one. We play Leeds and it's an absolute epic. We lead, we don't, we come from behind to win with an injury time Adamida strike, and we just casually slide into the Champions League places. The rubbish start has certainly been reverted for now. Speaking of rubbish, that's what we were against Spurs last time, and well, we're less rubbish this time, but the winning run still comes to an end. We are, absurdly, battling West Brom for Champions League football at the moment, so we need to beat them. Backinson sends in McCrory to slot home the opener, but our defending has been poor all season, and this is in full effect, as Ethan Galbraith is allowed to rifle in an equaliser. We restore our lead as DeConning's cross is powered home by McCrory, but then the defence, who admittedly features several youngsters, struggle as we somehow allow West Brom to equalise and then grab a late winner. Probably the most appalling collapse ever saved there. I still have no idea how we lost. Terrible defending and individual errors. However young the team may be, 4 defeats at home so far is absolutely atrocious. Fines all around. Can we bounce back against Liverpool? Ugh, I don't really think... Oh, okay. Whatever. I clearly have no idea how this game works. Is Carrow Road cursed or something? Let's see if we can win at home against Newcastle. McCrory crosses from the right to Backinson to make it 1-0. We obviously concede, and obviously it's to a guy who turned us down in the summer, but it's the Backinson show as he proceeds to run riot, first from Bogle's punt, and then tapping in from DeConning for the hat-trick. Vignato heads in a fourth to seal an emphatic win against a team so rich and yet just not very good. And we are just so delightfully inconsistent. It's a monopoly of Young Player of the Month awards as McCrory nets it this time. Well done. 15 games in, we're 7th, well in contention for European football despite the aforementioned rank inconsistency. Brighton are next, and it's one of those games. McCrory has 2 absolutely glorious chances, neither of which find their way in, before he goes off injured. Ida has a late effort as well, but somehow it ends 0-0. We're doing exceptionally well though, of course, and Wolves are impressed enough to offer me an interview. Flattering, but obviously no thanks. Ben Woodburn has never really been especially good, and he's well down the pecking order, so demands to leave, and we agree a £4.75 million deal with Sheffield United in January. We then face Everton, and we're pretty rubbish. A 1-0 defeat. Oh well. Callum Wilson chirps up with another supposed golden generation. Last year's was pretty good, but maybe not quite golden. So we'll see. Against Leicester, we're not exactly much better, but at least it's a point. Against Man United, yeah, we're awful. But then we have Reading, bottom of the league, so maybe another win. Papetti heads us in front from a corner, but Roberts swiftly equalises in kind. It looks like another wasted opportunity, but we keep going, and DeConning finds Backinson to restore our lead. We don't feel comfortable though, at least until injury time, when Williams sets super sub Adamida away to seal it for good. 3-1. Much needed. We end the year with Aston Villa, and we end the year with a classically pointless 0-0. We should have won, but we didn't. Still though, we end the year in a very solid 8th place. 1 point off European football, although that is actually 1 place lower than this stage last season, and indeed 32 points is our exact tally from a year ago too. So at least we haven't got any worse, and hopefully the second half of the season will be considerably better than last year's, and considering we are supposed to be being relegated, it's good whatever else happens. It'd just be nice if we were a bit more consistently good. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.